This morning, this morning, when, this morning when I got to work, got off Canal, came up top, and part of the World Trade Center fell off. Everybody was wrong. I have it right here. That's what I'm trying. Can you recharge my battery? In a New York minute.
Victoria's niece and nephew were in the building.
What?
Victoria's niece and nephew are in the building.
You want to see this? Once I got off the train, seemingly a million people were running directly at me. So I turned and ran up to my office. It's like my impulse to grab the camera. And I ran back outside with our secretary and walked all the way down. And when tower number 1 collapsed. I can't even, I couldn't trust my eyes. I've never seen it. I never even imagined anything like that. Movies that support embarrassing Star Trek I've never seen. The police. I vividly remember turning to run, and I was running backwards so I could still tape everything, and seeing the police just standing there and staring at the gate. They didn't move. I've never ever seen anything like that. We know it's going on in Washington as well.
Victoria, where do you live? How are you going to get home?
I don't know how. That's why they wanted us to go home, but we'd rather stay.
Stay in there.
Yeah, instead of, hanging out.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone who wants to go home can go home. But how can I go home?
Where do you live?
Brooklyn.
Yeah, all the trains are
My daughter, who works at Barclays Bank, just walked across the bridge. He's calling my house to, if somebody could pick her up by car. Maybe I'll do the same thing. Maybe later it'll be okay.
Although the bridges are down as well, they said.
Attention, all Wiz customers. Please gather your belongings. The Wiz store will be closing immediately.
Who is going home, Brooklyn? Are you going home, Brooklyn? Where? You didn't put your study shop?
I wasn't really thinking in that moment.
I know.
Especially about
That kind of situation. Yeah, come on. When it's falling down.
Of what has happened across the United States is almost unfathomable.
10,000 people are normally in each of those buildings. Airports across the country are shut down.
No tienen un país, no tienen una tierra propia. Bueno, vamos entonces a nosotros a seguir con esta cobertura.
Happy to give you a hug, a little compassion. If you need to talk, this is the place to do it. This is the hug station. This is New York's one and only hug station. And if you need a little love, a little support today, please be happy to give it to you right here. 42 hugs have been given out. Make it 43. Make it a nicer number. 43 is higher. We're looking for 50 today. At least I'm looking to give out 50 hugs today. If you're looking for a hug, if you want a little support and a little love, if you just need to talk, hugs are right here. I can't bottle these things. I can't sell them. I need to give out hugs for free.
I should have brought my cell phone and been like, $10.
I was in Strawberries this morning when I heard this big boom that came.
You on?
Yeah. What? All of a sudden they said it was an airplane, but I can't lie. It was a big plane that just ran into the World Trade. That was the first one. Then it looked like 20 minutes later, we heard another big boom. And it was two planes. They said they were building one and building right across the street from the mayor's office. And then we heard another impact, but I don't know if that was another plane that went down or that was just
No, that was a second plane that hit one of the trade
So
centers.
where do we go? The police, they all told us to walk to what, the north side. Just keep walking Keep away from the building as close as you can.
Right.
And we're by what, the Federal Building, we're by Giuliani's building, just all the big city buildings, City Hall, all of it. We work all in that area, so we just keep walking and keep walking. And we just round up here until we hear further notice for us trains.
They made us walk north towards this way. That's
Wow.
what we did. Exactly what we did. Not much we can do. I don't know yet. We're hoping the subways are running. And according to the radio, we heard that right now there'll be nothing doing until they get it under control. At that time, it was about 10 o'clock. Nothing was under control at all. I would imagine they're going to start running very soon. I have a feeling. Now, we saw the World Trade collapse.
What happened? What'd you see?
We saw the, I don't know which ones, either one or two. We saw the smoke and the flame coming out. All of a sudden, we turned around and we see it go down just like this. And you can see nothing but a bellow of smoke coming up after that. Both fell. Both. And we don't know if they did it or was the explosion from the plane that did it. We don't know. But it was a bad sight. A lot of people got killed. As far as we know. I don't know what more to say. Well, it reminded me of a combat zone. That's all it is. Because everybody was running and walking, up Broadway, trying to get away from the explosion as best as possible. The police were out there. They mobilized. The ambulances were there.
Yeah, I wonder how much they are going to be.
Just, you have to save your own skin at this point. That's what the whole thing is. You're not, just get away as fast as you can. And we were only about 4 blocks from there?
Yeah, about 4 blocks.
About 4 blocks, and we heard it. I was sitting in my office and I heard it. I heard one bang,
Made you get to the floor.
then I heard the second bang,
It was so scary.
and then somebody looked and said, oh, that's a plane that went down in there. And he went down, he found out, you see smoke bellowing out of the tower. It's a horrible sight to see. And the ironic part is, today is, as you know, primary day in New York.
Right.
That's a perfect time to target. That's what they did. In the World Trade Center, you have, I understand, you got the command center. You also have the federal government in there. You also have a lot of employees, plus it's a landmark. World Trade Center means a lot to everybody, to you, to me, to the world. There's nothing like the World Trade Center. People know what it is, and it stands out. You hit the World Trade Center, you get everybody's attention. They don't. That's because also they hit it at the time where everybody was settling in to go to work. And that was 107 floors in the World Trade. They hit the top part. Disaster all over the place. Why? I have no idea what they really talk. I just think because it's a landmark, I would say, and the world's going to pay attention. They want the world to pay attention to them. Now, who they were, I would imagine it's the same thing that happened last time. So you want attention. How do you get attention? By doing that. Get world attention. And they did paralyze New York City, by the way. You cannot move in New York City anymore. I don't know if you know, the airports across the whole country are shut down. The bridges in New York were closed. You couldn't go either way in the bridges. Yeah, so they really did a good job paralyzing us. I just hope they catch whoever did it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're dead. Don't get me wrong, they're dead. But there are people in New York. You got terrorists in New York right now, okay, that know about it, and they're going to go after them now. And what can I say? It's a bad thing. It's bad. I mean, I've never seen anything like it in my life. You know, I watched the smoke bellowing. I watched the building collapse. I watched people almost, just getting away. They didn't care. I just ran out of the building. I said, I'm getting out of here. I went home. Didn't go home. I can't get home. We just started to walk away from it in hope of, finding out some information. And I called home there, and my son works up in, he works for Verizon. And he called the house, spoke to my wife. He wanted to meet me here, but he couldn't get me at the office. I left already. And he said he's coming into Queens. I told my wife, how's he going to get to Queens? There are no trains running. The bridges are closed. Okay? And like I said, the city is now paralyzed until we hear further news. Have you heard anything? You could ask them. They're just as scared as I am.
Yeah, what will you guys do?
No, not you. We know what you're doing.
Yeah, no, I'm scared. This is my niece. Nikki just came to me a little while ago, panicking, crying, saying people was jumping out of the building. World Trade.
I saw two people jump out of the window.
From what floor?
I don't know. I thought it was debris because it was so far up until I saw the man spread his arms, and that's when I realized that it was a body coming out. And that's when the second plane hit the building, and after that I just started running.
Can't get through?
I just started running. I don't know what to do. I can't believe this. I'm not. This is crazy.
We were on our balcony. We saw the second plane hit and the first two buildings collapse. It was unbelievable. It's one of the scariest things I've ever seen.
I got woken up at 8:45 by an explosion. Heard it outside. I was in bed. Went outside, saw that there was a huge gaping hole in the North Tower. And then about 15 minutes later, the second planes crashed into the South Tower. Saw the explosion happen, saw the plane coming towards it. Unbelievable. The South Tower, I believe, collapsed first. I was inside when that happened. I saw the North Tower collapse as it happened. The roof fell off, and then the whole building just collapsed. Haze of smoke.
What did you guys think when you saw it?
I didn't think it was real at first. Thought it was part of a movie set or something. You don't see shit like that.
It was, I don't know, being in New York and coming in every time I went to the city and just always seeing the World Trade Centers on the Staten Island ferry. Not being able to see them anywhere.
I was waiting for planes to come, start bombing this.
Right?
I didn't know what the fuck.
Definitely my jaw dropped 6 times this morning.
Or else, the fact that they attack, the symbol of America, one of the biggest symbols of American capitalism.
Was a bomb. No, a plane. It said the plane went right into the World Trade Center. Probably a bomb. Sad. It was sad. There were people jumping and everything. But the whole two buildings collapsed. Yeah. Well, a plane went into the first one, then it went into another one, went into the other one. That's what they said. I don't know. How you doing?
At first, when the plane hit the World Trade Center, we thought it was an accident. But then when we heard that 2 planes hit both buildings, then we knew something was very wrong.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah,
we heard it hit the Pentagon, and we just walked here from there. We saw people jumping out of the windows, and it was a nightmare, and like a bad dream, and like a movie. I couldn't even believe that it was really happening. Everybody running in the streets. It's on the 102nd floor. Joey. He's Puerto Rican. They all went there.
But the whole two buildings collapsed, didn't they? Camille's son is in the
They all went there. My cousin's son.
Do they know anything yet?
No.
I saw the first plane.
Yeah.
He was flying real low.
Wow, the lady in my office, she came in, she goes, well, how to check the bill, it was right over her head. She goes, that plane is going right into there.
Yeah.
And she came in and told us, and we all went to the window, we saw the flames, we saw the hole in the building.
What building is Joey in the first one?
I don't know.
He flew right over this building, right over here. And then he actually tilted this way and went right into that building.
Maybe he didn't get there yet, or that it was the other building and he got out, I don't know. Some people got out, a lot of people got out. I heard someone saying they were on the 92nd floor they got out. So, you know, I guess they had a way out, some people.
I always hated high buildings.
Yeah, I think
mine is just the garage.
See yours? With 10 floors. With 10 floors.
I always hated high buildings.
Building should be that.
I was in a World Trade building. I was 65 in April, right? It was once. In that building. Because my friend came in from Las Vegas and she wanted to go see
I go there every day.
She wanted to go see it, but I can't stand the height, you know. And you know the Empire State Building? Same thing. Once. That was it. Forget about it. Didn't see me in there. I always didn't like the high buildings.
I tell you, I think this caught everybody by surprise. Everybody down here is talking about it being September 11th, 911, and an emergency situation it is.
I saw the first explosion, but I didn't see the plane. I saw the second explosion. I saw the third explosion. I watched the people jump. And I'm just in shock that somebody has so much hatred in them. They could do an abominable act like this to so many innocent people. And this is going to change forever how we feel and treat people. It's going to be a lot of chaos for a few days. But I'm utterly pissed that they're dancing on the streets of Palestine.
About 150 people at our place from some of our different companies, and we're feeding them, so I have to go get some. But they're all in our building.
Terrorists, obviously. Who's to blame? I don't know. It was very, the news is just pounding it in. They're saying that it was very well orchestrated. It was just one thing after another one. I think the Pentagon is half gone or something like that, right? Well, it's on the same day of the on the anniversary of the peace accord that was agreed on Israel and Palestine. And Palestine people, I'm really sure they're gonna get blamed. Most likely they will.
Ran for our lives, so we thought, just don't know when.
I don't know. Actually, very well. They just rented us. We basically had to report to police and fire department command posts and find out where they wanted directly where we wanted to be lost. Not necessarily. I think it's just a conscious effort. It's humanity, basically. That's essentially that's all. You know, I was compelled to go down. I could not do it.
It's not that far away. It could have hit our school too. That's messed up. That's messed up. I mean, we gotta sit in this auditorium forever. It's mad hot in there. The teachers ain't even helping us out, giving us food or anything. That's messed up, and that's why I'm going home. Basically.
How are you gonna get home?
I don't know. They said the A train is working. I don't know, but I'm gonna go get my mother and then we leave here. Basically.
How are you gonna get home?
I live in the Bronx.
How are you gonna get there?
Where you live at? I'm gonna walk. You gonna walk? I live in Bethlehem. You ain't walking to no Bethlehem.
The place spinning out of control.
No, it was not no spinning out of control. It was
people outside. There's some outside.
And all I heard was everybody like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then we turned on the TV in the class and we saw everything. We saw the both of the Twin Towers fall. We saw the Pentagon, all of that burned down, everything. The thing I don't understand, where is Bush? Where is he?
Florida.
In Florida.
No, he's not. No, he's not. He came back. He said once he heard about it, he took a jet here. But he didn't. He's not in here.
But how? But he should have been here.
We was in third period, right? And we heard a big bang.
Coming up the stairs.
We looked outside. It was a boom.
We got a big bang. It's that boom.
Next thing we know, both of the buildings was falling.
In third period, another plane ran into the other building. And then fourth period, everything just went down.
And next minute we know we was outside chilling. People was running this way. People was running that way. Then I got shot in my ass. They were shooting outside. Next minute we know Twin Towers was falling. That's when we know everybody panicking. No
How are you guys gonna get home?
We gonna walk. All the Brooklyn heads gonna walk.
Can't take a cab.
You might have to spend the night at school. I know we ain't coming tomorrow. School better be closed tomorrow.
We ain't coming to school for the whole week. School is over. School is over. Finished.
It's not safe to go to school anymore.
I was in art class and I took it. We were just sitting down, getting ready to go to school, and then a plane was making a lot of noises and it just crashed into the building and they both collapsed like maybe an hour later.
I thought it was an accident.
No,
I thought it was an accident.
The president said it was a terrorist attack.
But then it was like kind of too close to the ground.
Exactly, and then they said that there was like planes getting hijacked, and then Washington got bombed. So I don't think it was an accident. I'm gonna put it on eBay.
Yo, that's history. I do not
After the years, it's gonna cause mad. That's when the second plane hit it, and that's all the smoke.
You were down there.
Oh yeah, like 4 feet of ash. We were about 4 blocks away. We were in the building at work, and then they let us out. By the time we got out, there was like 4 inches of ash on the ground.
How far is Manhattan Plaza from?
Excuse me, what are we, about 3-4 blocks?
Not even 2.5 blocks, I think.
Just a few blocks east of there.
What did you see?
Well, when I came out of the subway this morning, I saw the top of the World Trade Center on fire. I didn't know what had happened. It was all black. It was horrible, and there was paper floating all over the place, and ash and soot, and it was all over, and I didn't know the severity yet. And so people said planes hit it, and I wouldn't believe it. Then I got in the office, and I realized it was like pandemonium. Really bad. And then we finally, they didn't let us out of the building until about 11:30. because the smoke was coming up through the elevators to our building.
Right.
We were okay. It was totally black outside, like night, middle of night. It was horrible. And then finally the smoke cleared and they said you can get out of the building now. So we left and then we walked in all this ash and stuff, like, and we were several blocks away from it. It's like all this just soot in the air, just film. People, we have our face masks and stuff like that.
Oh, they gave you face masks.
Yeah, and where we worked, they cut up towels and they put the water on them so we could, get out safely. Because even our building, the elevators smell badly. So, oh my God. I spoke to my brother in Atlanta the first thing, and he said, get out of there, those buildings are going to fall down. I said, no way. And they fell down. So and now we're trying to figure out if we can get uptown and commute,
I heard there was one building around here where a bunch of people from downtown. Right, this woman is it her apartment or?
No, it's a business. Yeah, that might be. They brought us here. They gave us lunch and let us get our bearings. And then some people who commute to where we work, they didn't make it in. We don't know what happened.
Supposedly it was like
if they turn back, we don't know if they turn back.
50,000 people that
were coming commuting in. You have to remember that's a hub.
Right.
Subway, rail, everything comes in here. Plus a lot of communications is out because of this too. A lot of communications with the
What are they doing in there?
I don't know. I want to get the hell out of here. That's all I know.
Tell them we're leaving. Well, wait, because we're trying to stay in groups. So.
I'll go get them.
Thanks.
I'm not moving here until I have a group of people.
Oh.
Does anybody know if anybody's missing?
I'm see the big boom. I was making a delivery to 100 Hudson. And I hear a big boom like at 9 o'clock, 10 minutes after 9 o'clock. And I get off of my truck and went to see, and they got the two big holes, the two of the Twin Towers. And some of the people screaming, running. I saw all the people coming down. They're evacuating the buildings. I see something happens over here. I see the big smoke. After that, I get out from there, come this way, because they don't let me go down there.
Where do you live? Where do you live?
I live in Jersey.
How are you going to get home?
I got my trucks. I make deliveries.
How will you get home?
I'm waiting for the tunnel. The tunnel is closed. I'm waiting for the opening. All these people are waiting.
Waiting
all
to get on
these trucks waiting for the open the tunnel. Going back to Jersey.
We saw when the building was coming down. We stood right up the street there and watched both buildings come down. We just missed the explosion. We was right next door to building 2 when the plane hit. We just missed it.
Wow. So
making a delivery down there.
Who do you think it was?
I don't know. Who do you think it was?
Palestinians.
You said it right that time, huh?
I know I did. That's for sure. That's all we kept hearing.
That's all you keep hearing there. Yeah, they said over the radio that over in Palestine that they was jumping up and down with joy and all this. It's crazy. It's like, damn. When you think of New York, you think of the World Trade Center, you think of the Twin Towers.
Gone.
They're gone now. Sad day in America. Very sad day.
At first I thought it was an accident. I said, oh my God, the guys that work in the apartment. I said, oh my God, look at this, a plane crashed into the World Trade Center. I said, oh shit. We all ran to the window and you could see the big gaping hole. So we're watching the smoke and everything, people waving stuff out the window. And as we were watching it, police helicopters arrived on the scene. And we're watching, and all of a sudden you see this big jet airliner come swinging around the far end. And I'm looking at it, real puzzled. And it just hit the far end. And you could see the fireball blew out about 4 blocks long, you know, into the other tower. And we were like, oh my God. And then like everything was in flames, you know. And at that point, we knew pretty much it was a terrorist attack. At first, we thought it was like an accident, but after the second plane, we knew it was like something. It was something planned. We were saying, "Oh my God!" And all these people were waving things out the windows, and then bodies started falling from the higher heights, you know. And you know, we were just in awe. Like, you know, the whole job site shut down. People were just staring out the window, like with a dumb look on their face. Like, and every time people were falling out of the building, we're like, oh God, there goes somebody else. I watched this one woman waving something out the window for about a half an hour, and like, you know, my sights were hooked on her, and eventually she just went out the window.
Did she fall or jump?
She jumped, you know, because the flames just reached to her. They
Right.
just built its way over. And we were watching it for a while, and then we were watching it. You could see the metal spewing out from the corner of the one building where the big jet hit,
Mm-hmm.
and that was the second tower that was hit. And you could see the metal actually pouring out of the corner of the building. I said, "Oh my God, you know, that's bad." And that's when that collapsed. It just like tilted over to the left, from my point of view, and then it was gone. Right, and at that point, everybody was just on the job like, oh my God, this and that. Everybody's screaming, cursing, using foul language, right? So we're watching it, and after that happened, I went downstairs. I made a phone call. My brother-in-law is a police officer. I thought maybe he responded to the scene, and I just wanted to see if I can get in touch with home to make sure he wasn't there when the collapse took place. I couldn't get through at that point. I went back upstairs, and I was watching it, and I was sitting there with a couple of fellas. We're going, oh my God, and just watching people fall out the building. I mean, like, they were like jumping. I mean, like body after body. It was like 20, 30 people. Oh, it's one after another. You know, so, you know, we're getting all upset. But, you know, you couldn't help but, like, you know, look and, you know, in awe. Then there was a big bright line across the middle of the building. And you knew the fire was intense because it was burning for a while. And it reached all the way across that portion of the building. And I said to one of the guys, I says, that's going to go, man. That steel's been heating for a long time. You know, and within 10 to 20 minutes after the first collapse, it just went down. The big tower just dropped straight down. And it was like a corner of the building that stayed up, about 15 to 16 stories. And then that just dropped. The buildings were gone. And we all just, nobody said nothing. We just looked, you know. And we said, that's it, you know. I'm not working for the rest of the day. Shut the job site down. I came over to meet my friend. I said, I finally got in touch with my brother-in-law. I called up his precinct. He was all right. He came down looking for me. So I left a message for him.
Where is he working? He's a cop?
Yeah, he's a lieutenant over in the 6th squad.
Which is the 6th squad?
6th squad up in the 6th precinct.
Which precinct is that?
6th precinct.
Which streets are those?
That's West 10th Street.
Okay. So was he called down there?
Well, he was on his way into work.
Uh-huh.
He was coming out of the tunnel. I think it was right after the second plane hit. And there was like a lot of shit going on. He grabbed an injured officer, put him in his car, and he says, I'll send somebody for you. He says, I gotta go to my command. He left the car there. He got about 5 to 10 blocks away, and he noticed the building collapsed, so he doesn't know what happened. If the guy was in the car, or if the building collapsed onto the car, and the cop was still in the car, you know, but he don't know, you know. He just, you know, right now, nobody knows nothing about what happened to him. All he knows is he left the car there on the scene, and right now he's just at the command, you know, so that's all I know. And then I finally was able to get in touch with my family, and my sister got the kids from school. She was a wreck, you know, and my other sister's a nurse. They called her into work, you know. The whole city's in like, you know, an uproar, you know. We just went down to have something to eat, and people were just glued around the television set, just like watching, and like about all the things that took place all up and down the eastern seaboard, right? And like a planned attack like this, and people are outraged, I mean, the American people are friggin' outraged, I mean, as far as you could look at things in the past and say, hey, okay, let's try to come to a settlement and let's see what we could do about things, That's not going to happen, because I think the final nail's been driven in, I think if you're suspected of being involved, hey, listen, that's it. People like that, they got to go away, I don't think the American people are going to stand for it. It's sickening. It's sickening. Enough is enough. These cowards got to go away, I mean, like, you want to see cruelty? Hey, I'm sorry to say so, I mean, I wish things could really work out for everybody, but hey, when you do things like this, hey, listen, you got to pay the price, The Japanese said it during the Second World War, you woke in a sleeping giant, the giant's awake again, and the giant's going to take care of business now, and we ain't having it. This is going to end. This is going to end right now. I'm telling you. You'll see recruitment's office, lines. You'll see lines. The American people are sick. Sick and tired, and they're not going to stand up for this. This is the one rally point. A lot of discussions and debates could take place, but this is the point. This is not going to happen again. You want to play games? We're going to show you games. We won't stand for this. The American people are finally going to come together and take care of business. This will not be allowed to happen anymore.
Down here, we were both down.
We resolved the bombing of the USS Cole off Yemen. We've let that one slip through and led to our so-called Arab Muslim allies get away with not aiding and abetting us for that. Haven't solved the bombings of the barracks there in Saudi Arabia, although finally arrests were made.
This should never happen.
Tanzania and Kenya, our American
they trying to blow it up once.
Face of the map. Osama bin Laden, his agents taking credit. And we were told, don't give them the death penalty here in New York. We don't want to enrage the terrorists.
I hardly think this is the appropriate time to be talking about killing.
What do you think it's going to happen?
Take away more of our rights. That's all. That's all it's about.
Taking away more of our rights. Well, guess what? It may well be that they retaliated anyway. But up next,
they know that could happen.
It's probably internal. You understand what I'm saying? It's internal, just like Oklahoma City. You understand what I'm saying? Everybody that was on the plane is dead, so they don't know. They can't say it was an Arab or nobody else. No, what I'm saying, if everybody died on the plane, if you find an Arab in the debris, he could have been a passenger, right? You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just to take away more of our rights as citizens, that's all. That's all. Police state, that's all. Bottom line, ain't it? I mean, the bottom of the economy done fell out. People losing their jobs, right? The internet is going to waste. I mean, hey, the big boys gonna keep their money. And they just sold this stuff to a guy last month. They just sold them to a private guy last month. It's all deja vu, you know. They sold them two World Trade Center buildings to a guy last month. It was no longer belonged to the Port Authority. Now what's gonna happen to him? He had a 99-year lease, and he was supposed to be able to pay the money back by operations in the building. There's no building there now. What the hell he gonna pay him with? So maybe he's gonna be out here with me. I don't know. But put it this way: nothing happens in a vacuum in this country. Anyway, nothing happens in a vacuum. It's already planned ahead. You know, it's already planned ahead. I don't care how stupid it might look to the average individual. Somebody done planned it ahead, you know.
Don't stop shit. Watch yourself. So you're all gonna come down and go into space.
Just about going down right now.
Going down.
Flames were across the street.
Really?
When we left. The smoke was right. We couldn't stay anymore. Couldn't breathe. We came out with masks and stuff. You know? I mean, we walked out the door of our apartment to see what was, what it looked like, to see if we could even go out. The first thing they did was hand us gas stations. We're lucky. We're alive. That's all I know. If this backpack is everything I own, at least I'm alive. I got my dog and my wife.
Well, we have places to stay. We have friends uptown. We can get out of town.
We're going up to some friends' apartment, and we'll stay there for now until we figure it out.
We'll figure it out.
Who knows? Maybe they'll get it under control. We'll be allowed back down. Maybe our apartment will be saved.
I care. Nothing is that important. Well, nothing is as important as us being alive, right? I mean, we could be dead too. We're just. I bought a pair of pants at the World Trade Center today. I was important. No, I know. I was thinking I had to go buy some gloves today.
The thing is, 10,000 people working in there, but 150,000 people go through the subways of the World Trade Center during rush hour every day. 150,000, that's an average. Now, one hit at 8 something and the other one hit at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, one hit at like 8:55. It was like 8:45 when it hit.
How many of those people got out? I mean, all we could see, besides watching the whole thing happen, is just hundreds of people running up West Broadway, just running and screaming down Chambers Street. We're watching it. I gotta look and see.
She was doing the phone booth. She sort of said, play hit. That's all I know. But she calls and she's still alive. I didn't know she worked that night. She usually does midtown. Because I've seen her in Penn Station. Big phone call. I don't know if she's stuck here too. She's not home. She's stuck here. Yeah, she's not home. So, we know she's alive, we just don't know where she's at. That's preserving beer, right? It's all I know. We'll get him. Don't you worry.
I don't think this is hand up. I'm just hoping it's not Americans that did it.
Who do you think did it?
I don't know. It's too early to tell. You can't rule out anything. Well, they've tried to blow it up once before, right? And things been going on around the world, so it had to happen now, sooner or later. I don't mean just the World Trade Center. I mean just a bombing around the world. So I expect them to come to America. It's amazing that with all the technology that a plane can take off from Newark and hit the World Trade Center. And you're seeing all these billions of dollars that we have tied up in this, and we can't even track a plane from Newark to New York. Scary. I'm wondering what else is wrong. Right? The CIA, FBI.
Who do you think it was?
I don't know who it was. We got too many people in America that are selling spy, equipment, spy technology. We got Americans working in the FBI selling spy technology. It could be to anybody. It could be Americans, and who the hell knows? There's a lot of mad Americans out here with the government.
Do you take planes?
Yes, I fly a lot.
How do you feel about getting on a plane now?
All right. If I had to fly somewhere, I mean, I gotta go one day. It doesn't bother me about dying. I feel like I'm gonna die anyway.
Can you tell me what's running?
The A, the F, the E.
What about the L? The L is running, but a different.
Yeah, it's not coming here. Where do you want to go?
Brooklyn.
Take the F train. That's the one going into Brooklyn.
The L is not going into Brooklyn?
Now, see, you don't ask me. I know the F is. I know the F is going to Brooklyn.
What about Long Island Railroad, Metro North?
Oh, no. Still waiting for our train.
40 seconds.
But we do know the F is going to Brooklyn.
Okay.
And the A is stopping at Chambers.
Okay. Chambers, going all the way down there then?
It's 207 to Chambers and turn around. That's it. It's
Right.
not going to Brooklyn.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
But right now, they swamped with people over there. Right now, no, but we'll probably need more for tomorrow morning, tonight, tomorrow morning. Come back tonight. Tomorrow. Right here? Right here or in those sites over there. Okay. Okay. Yes, they got enough for today, but tomorrow we'll definitely need some more.
I just gave blood. Is there a way to sign up for volunteers anywhere?
You can ask the lady with the backhoe right there, and she'll direct you.
This is for blood?
Yes, ma'am.
How's it been? So you have a wait now for donating blood?
Yeah, we had a big generous amount of people that came in and donated blood without us asking right away. So we have more than enough. But for tomorrow, this is the sites where they're gonna need to donate.
You don't need
blood.
me to anymore?
Not today.
What if I don't know my blood type?
It doesn't matter.
Just
They'll
go there and
find
give them
out.
my arm and they'll stick me?
Yep, they'll find out your
Got
blood
it.
type right there and then.
Got it.
You need some for tomorrow? Tomorrow, we're gonna. I gave my name. Yes, then just come back.
Are they taking any volunteers to help out in any way?
Not right now. Right now.
Okay, but maybe later tonight?
For
Come to this building?
You can donate if you don't want to wait. Well, that's for blood donation. That's the lady.
Okay, I will.
The one on First Avenue and 67th and the one on Amsterdam. These are the sites? Okay. Okay? All right. Okay, today we're not taking any more blood. But tomorrow we'll need some blood. This is the other places where you can donate blood. It's been chaotic, but it's, organized, but it's hard, more than human beings, so it's hard.
St. Vincent's is getting a lot of the victims. Are there many victims here now?
I can't say, I don't know. I really don't know. I've been like that before, so I don't know.
But no, scratch that. We don't need that.
Close to St. Vincent's Hospital. This is one of the trauma triage centers in Lower Manhattan. They tell us they have treated about 327 patients. They have 3 fatalities at St. Vincent's. Now here to help us sort it out and describe what it was like inside St. Vincent's is Dr. Andrew Feldman. He's the chief of sports medicine and has been at work at St. Vincent's now for 10 hours.
That's funny people walk down there.
We saw first off St. Vincent's.
Well, there was a whole host of injuries. I didn't see any other kind of major trauma. Obviously, a lot of broken bones, cuts and bruises, but a lot of blunt trauma, chest trauma, head trauma, things like that.
What type of infrastructure, what type of system is
Well, at St. Vincent's, we're a level 1 trauma center, which means we're prepared to do this type of stuff. We take care of a lot of accident victims in New York, and we have for many years. And I'm very proud of the staff and the other doctors in the facility for how they handled this. But basically, we are really set up for this type of work.
Have they given you any kind of expectation of what's in store for you tomorrow? Any kind of heads up?
Yeah, basically more of the same, because obviously there's thousands and thousands of people to dig out, and all of them are going to have some sort of an injury. And basically, since we're so close to the World Center, that they're really coming our way. Well, I mean, the longer people are buried, I think the more severe the injury, and there's going to be a lot of smoke and gas inhalation, and people are going to be dealing with that in the next 12 to 24 hours.
Dr. Feldman, thanks very much for joining us. Well, that was the view of one gentleman who was inside St. Vincent's. Again, they've treated 327 people, 3 fatalities. Paula, back to you.
Sorry for the wait. You know how it is. No more bread and no more jelly at this point.
For what? You tell me. I don't know. Prove a point.
Are you a fireman? What were you doing there?
Nah, I'm a union worker, and all my union brothers were down there trying to clean up and find anything. We didn't find nothing except 2 guys pinned under some rubble. Court officers, I believe. They found 2 guys. That was it. They're getting reports that people are calling from cell phones from the rubble, but I don't see how. Because I was in that rubble, and it's smoldering, it's burning. It's a mess.
Do you think people were trapped alive then?
Yeah.
And then
Oh yeah. I think people are, if they survived the initial collapse and they died from the smoke. I was hosed down twice because I was so covered with soot. And this was some little girl's doll that they blew up.
what will you do with the doll?
I'm gonna put it on the when they have a memorial, when they have a monument. I'm gonna place it there in memory. This is the doll, little raggedy head. Some little girl's doll. It just breaks my heart. It really breaks my heart. You know? I don't know what to do. We've tried donating blood. The lines are too long. I'm gonna go home. You know? What else is there to do? Too many people down there now. You gotta have a construction crew down there now. Cranes.
So are people actually in the buildings now? I mean,
No, there is no building.
I mean, excavating
There is rubble.
it. Or...
Rubble is high as that.
So you were down there for work when it?
Nah, I was at my job when I saw what happened on the news. Right? So what I did is me and my company, we all went down there to see if we could help. And we just did what we could. Search and rescue, help the firemen with water, give them lights, whatever, food, whatever we could do.
So you went down after the collapse.
After the
collapses.
Yeah.
That's
Around 10 o'clock.
awfully dangerous.
Well,
So you
those
guys went.
risked their lives. Hundreds of firemen died. Hundreds of policemen died in the collapse when they went in there. It was a five-alarm fire. So that means firemen were inside the building. It's amazing what happened. It's just totally mind-boggling. It's crazy, isn't it?
What were you thinking at the time?
I was thinking of revenge.
Really?
Yeah,
That was one of your first thoughts.
that was my first thoughts.
Who do you think did it?
Muslims. Osman bin Laden, I believe his name is. And I think we've already dropped a couple bombs over there in Afghanistan.
Today?
Yeah, tonight already.
Really?
Oh, yeah. And that's just the beginning.
Do you think this is going to start a war?
Yes. This is going to start a major war. Do you realize the implications of what happened? 8 planes were hijacked. And they were targeted at certain cities. The Pentagon, the State Department, the World Trade Centers. They tried to hit Camp David. They tried to hit the Sears Tower in Chicago. We had to shoot down 3 of our own planes. 3 American civilian planes.
We shot down.
We had to shoot them down.
So that they wouldn't...
So they wouldn't hit
Right.
civilian populations like this.
Do you think the terrorist attacks in the United States are over?
No. And neither are the attacks against them. And I can tell you that there are a lot of vigilantes here. I've been hearing a lot of reports that all these little Muslim kids and all these Muslims at these mosques are cheering and applauding what happened. You think that a true American is going to stand for that? Honestly, do you really think that's going to happen? I'll tell you, I'm going to be a vigilante.
Well, what would you do if the United
I'd kill
States
one.
declare? If the United States
I'd
declares
rejoin the
war,
military.
and you would fight for it.
I'd kill everyone I could. And I wouldn't think twice about it. I wouldn't lose a wink of sleep. Not after what I saw. No way. No way. But I can say one thing though. There was a lot of solidarity down there. Everyone was helping each other. Everyone was doing what they could do. It was just, I really don't have any words. It's just tough to comprehend. I feel like I'm in a nightmare, a dream. I'm just about to wake up. You know?
So you think you're still in shock?
Oh yeah, I think I'm in shock still. I'm physically exhausted. I cried all day, not just with tears, but with smoke and the smell of, I hate to say it, but rotten flesh and everything else you can think of burning. It's just a shame. Terrible shame. And what gets me is that these fucking assholes are laughing about it. I think it's a joke. Here in our country, here in the city, Muslim kids around the city are laughing and cheering and joking about it. You gonna let that happen? You gonna stand for that? I don't think so. I can tell you now, if I get some sleep and after this mess is done, after this is cleaned up and we get back together, shit's gonna happen. Shit's gonna hit the fan. It is. What are you gonna do?
What are your plans for tomorrow?
I'm gonna go back down there 7 a.m. I'll be in. What am I gonna do? Sit home? Do nothing? I'm an American. This is my American brothers and sisters. And this little girl died. Some little girl had this, and this is what breaks my heart. This is what kills me. This is what makes me so mad and so vengeful that I just want to go out there and kill everyone who is responsible for this. Or who even jokes about it. I just want to choke them, shoot them, stab them, do something. Because I'll tell you this, everyone down there feels the same way I do. Everyone down there on that pile of rubble feels the same way I do.
Really? All of the people who are working there?
Firemen, EMS, doctors, you name it.
Furious.
Devastated, disgusted, appalled, whatever word you want to use. I'll tell you, I'm shocked. I'm very mad, very angry. And I will get revenge. One way or another, I will get revenge. We will get revenge. America. You know? I hope you record all this.
I am. I want to know people's stories.
You know? This is a story that's going to be written in history for millenniums.
They say it's on par with the attack on Pearl Harbor. It's that scale and that...
No, it's worse. It's worse. It's nothing can compare to this. This will change the world forever. This will change Americans forever. The way they think, the way they act. This is going to change everybody. The world. If you can understand that, that's real big. You know, when the first nuclear bomb went off, that changed the way people thought, right? Electricity was invented, that changed the way people acted. That's significant. That's how big this is. It's major. You gotta see it for yourself. I wish I had your camera. I would have filmed everything I saw down there. Bet you wouldn't watch it twice. I bet no one would want to see that twice. Just the looks on people's faces, the devastation. It's amazing. It's disgusting. I want to go home and sleep.
Thank
I'll
you.
be back there tomorrow.
Stop.
Oh, it's not even yours. Stop it. That was so sad. You're not gonna get deported to Trinidad. I promise you. Wait, I put my wallet. Welcome to America.
Okay, we're gonna go down to the park. I don't know you can go anywhere in the world, okay? Alright.
Yeah, the world is our oyster, Joe.
Not right this way.
Hey, where are you guys dispersing to?
To the park.
We're dispersing.
Join the crazy people. Forgive them.
It's still part of the
So you as documentarian of our walking through the streets, do you feel that this is an inappropriate show of disrespect to the dead? Or do you agree with us in that we're not letting the terrorists win? I mean, they might have blown up a building, but we can still go out and walk the streets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you an NYU freshman as well?
Yes, I am.
So what did you think about what happened today? Are you from New York?
Originally I'm from Long Island, but I've lived in just outside Washington, D.C. for 11, going on 12 years now. So actually my family is down in Washington, and my dad would have been evacuated from his office building, but he's out of the country right now.
Uh-huh.
So, like, I couldn't call them because all the phone lines here were busy and all the phone lines there were busy.
Uh-huh.
So it took us a long time to get into contact. But I've been sending emails. Was there an original question that I didn't answer?
No, tell me what you're thinking. Go ahead.
It's
Where'd you
like
go?
this morning I woke up at 9 when my roommate came in and told me the World
With
Trade
who?
Center was on fire. And I didn't know what he meant. I thought he meant like there was a fire at the World Trade Center, not the whole building was going to collapse eventually. So like I got up and I looked out my window and I could see this big plume of smoke coming out from behind a building, but I couldn't actually see the World Trade Center. I realized it was a big thing. So I got my video camera and went downstairs and just stood in the streets and videotaped. And then I went to Washington Square Park and sat and videotaped. And I caught like the entire thing. Like when I got there, both planes already crashed, but I filmed like for probably an hour and a half. And I have the first building starting to collapse, and then my video camera goes crazy. The second building, I have videotaped its entire collapse, and it didn't seem real. I couldn't believe that I was watching the World Trade Center fall down. Like that, it's not possible that I was sitting in a park watching that. That's something that you can only see on the news. What is this group of college students doing walking through deserted streets after a national disaster with a trampoline? It's a worthwhile question. I'm not sure it necessarily warrants the amount of time you're spending on it, but I can see why you picked to start filming us in the first place. Do you think this counts as survivors euphoria?
That's what?
Survivors euphoria. Like a major catastrophe and you don't die. Makes you really happy.
I think there's always an opportunity for good. I think there's always an opportunity for something new, for creation. And what we need to do is produce and create and fill the void with something good. That's what I think. There's so much possibility in the world, and it seems such a shame to waste possibility because you're given it every day and you have choices to make every day with everything that is presented to you. And why not make the good choice? Why not choose the good? You know, you might as well. Like, I think there's always an opportunity for good. So you should create that good because it doesn't just happen.
A company. How did your company do?
Well, we're missing one guy. Anybody else? There's 200 dead though. The wrong place at the right time.
Hey, what do you got? Right.
If the building would have came down a little sooner, they probably would have lived, you know. Yeah, well, they miss him, you know. You call these different companies where they're at, and they say they haven't heard from them or they're considered missing, so good chance that they're gone.
Right.
So, life changes in a flash, you know.
Yeah. What was it like here this morning? Were you here in the morning?
No.
So
no, it was, I guess, everybody's still in shock over it, you know. Still in shock. It's
Okay, hang on to that for a minute. We got
something you never expect to happen, but it did.
Right.
We figured it could never happen here. But,
Right.
it did. So that's about it.
What happens? What do you think will happen tomorrow? Do you
Well,
think
they'll
the
just
terrorism
continue to
will-
do what they did now. You know, look through the rubble and hope to find maybe in some little voids or.
some people who are still
Yeah,
alive?
yeah.
Do you think it's the start of a war? No.
Well, it depends on how you label a war. You know,
Right.
a war is when two countries agreed to fight each other. These two countries haven't agreed to fight each other. These are just
Right.
factions within countries. They're terrorists. You know?
Right.
I'm sure there's a lot of good people from where these people came from. Whoever was
Right.
responsible for these things. A lot of good people. Sometimes the governments are screwed up, but the people are good.
Yeah.
So
Who do you think did it? Terrorists?
they don't know. Who the hell
Right.
knows anymore? Who's who? Nobody knows anything. I don't even know who my dentist secretary is anymore.
Right.
Every time I go, there's somebody else.
Right.
So it's they'll find out, I'm sure. It's twice and twice. It never ends.
So what's going on here tonight? Are you?
Nah, nothing. You know, the truck is destroyed. So they're gonna get another. So there's like 20 trucks that are destroyed.
Destroyed how? You mean like
just
they don't?
flattened out. There's
Really?
50 million tons of rubble down here.
Really? They just got hit by the rubble and.
Oh, yeah. Destroyed. There's 40,000 people dead.
Is that what they're saying on the news?
40,000. Well, there's like at least 30,000, 40,000 in these buildings. I don't know how many were there at that particular
40,000 across the country,
time. What do you mean across the country?
like with the Pentagon and the White House and all that.
No, these two buildings.
Just
House
40,000.
40,000 in these two buildings.
Right.
If they're all in there, they're all dead.
Right.
That's the tragedy.
So you're here. So the truck for this company is
it's
gone.
destroyed to a degree, but they don't know. They'll have to assess it, you know, tomorrow and see whenever they get a chance to dig it out and see how much they can save it. If they can save anything from it. There's a lot of trucks that have been destroyed.
Fire trucks, really.
Lucky the building came down like in one piece, straight. If it had
Right.
toppled over, it would have killed more people. Probably would have reached here.
Really.
No, the domino effect. It could have knocked down buildings right up to here. What are you gonna do? It's a tragedy.
But you don't think it'll start a war?
Nah, I don't think so.
What did you? You
But
seem
they'll
so.
have to do something about it, though.
Yeah. You seem so calm. Were you in shock when you heard about it?
No, it's just that, you know, what are you gonna do? It's just you have to pull your senses together. You gotta collect yourself and make the best of it. What are you gonna do? I mean, you can't do anything about it. You can't bring them back. It's it. A lot of families ruined. A lot of parents, a lot of kids, a lot of young firemen dead, children, cops, everybody. They're all dead. It's like a disaster down there. Have you been down there?
Have you been down?
Yeah.
What's it like?
Oh, rubble all over everything. A lot of rubble. Just like a bomb went off.
Right. What were you doing down there?
Huh?
What were you doing down there?
What everybody else was doing, you know, trying to see if he could help it. Probably the worst day this city's ever had. But hopefully, this will be the end of it. Where do you live, around here?
I live in Williamsburg.
Ah.
So.
It's-
What's that? Do you have information that
Yeah.
comes in?
Yeah.
What is it? What type of stuff? Do you get the
The boxes that are coming in the area, you know.
boxes?
No, the boxes, yeah.
What are boxes?
Where the fires are.
Oh,
This is the Bronx, it's downtown, it's all over.
the Bronx. But so then it's totally unrelated. It's just a small fire. Is there enough firemen to fight those things?
Oh,
that
yeah.
Do you think this will change the how fire departments work in New York?
Nah. Time will, people forget. Go
Right.
back to normal, too. It'll take a while, though, to get over this. This is
It's a big
this
one.
is a big one, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we lose sometimes 3, we lose 6. You don't lose 200 every day.
Yeah.
It's a lot of firemen there. Well, it'll take a long time to get over it.
200. What percentage of that is that of New York firemen?
Well, there's 10,000 firemen. So, it's a lot of people.
What 200 is that?
So say your prayers tonight for them.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Thank you very much.
Okay, hon.